What happens when the lines between rivalry, vengeance, and pure psychological warfare are pushed to the absolute extreme? That's exactly what unfolded in one of the most shocking twists in wrestling history when Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch made a cold and calculated hospital visit to Roman Reigns, not to wish him well or show compassion, but to look him in the eye while he lay injured and deliver a warning that could shake the very foundation of WWE. Imagine the scene. The tribal chief, bruised and battered with fractured ribs, recovering after the brutal assault he suffered at Clash in Paris, only to see the door swing open and in walk the visionary Seth Rollins and big-time Bex herself, Becky Lynch. They weren't there with flowers or sympathy. They were there to declare war, to strip Roman Reigns of the aura of invincibility he built over years, and to break him down not just physically but mentally, proving that the wolves circle hardest when the lion is at his weakest. Rollins stepped boldly to the foot of the bed, sneering down at the fallen chief, with contempt dripping from his words as he mocked Roman, saying, "Look at you, the mighty tribal chief, laid out and broken by a rookie." Becky leaned against the doorway with a smirk, her voice cutting through the silence of the hospital room as she added, "This isn't the end, Roman. This is just the beginning of your downfall. The throne you held is empty now, and we're coming for everything you built." The moment was chilling, a psychological ambush that went far beyond any scripted promo because it was delivered in Roman's most vulnerable state, surrounded not by the roars of the crowd but by the beeping of hospital machines. And if you thought that was the end of their cruelty, Rollins paused at the door on his way out, turning back with a sinister smile as he said that JUSO would be receiving a visit next. That moment, captured on a fan's cell phone, exploded across the internet, spreading like wildfire and sending the wrestling world into a frenzy as fans debated whether this was storyline, reality, or something in between, because the raw emotion and venom in that hospital room felt all too real. And just when the shockwaves of that confrontation couldn't get any bigger, Jon Moxley, known to WWE fans as Dean Ambrose, broke his silence from AEW, giving his thoughts in a backstage interview that dripped with menace. He didn't just dismiss it as business as usual. He hinted that if Rollins and Lynch want to play dangerous games, then the consequences could unleash something they aren't ready for. His words sparked wild speculation about whether this could lead to a Shield reunion, a rekindling of brotherhood in the face of betrayal, or whether it was foreshadowing a Shield civil war that could split one of wrestling's most legendary factions once and for all. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns and JUSO both remain hospitalized after suffering at the hands of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, which leaves the bloodline more vulnerable than ever before, with their empire crumbling and enemies circling like vultures. Rollins and Lynch's actions aren't just an attack on Roman's health, they're a declaration that the old order is gone, and a new power couple is ready to seize control of WWE. Fans everywhere are asking whether this is the end of the tribal era and the dawn of something even darker. Social media is on fire, with millions of views pouring in on the leaked hospital video, hashtags trending worldwide, and fans taking sides in heated debates. Some believe Roman will rise again like he always has, rebuilding his empire brick by brick, while others think the damage has been done and the aura of the head of the table has been shattered forever. And in the shadows, Moxley waits, his cryptic response adding fuel to an already raging inferno. Could the Shield reunite under the most unlikely of circumstances, or will betrayal rip them apart once again? Wrestling fans, this is the moment where history is being written in real time, where reality and storyline blur into chaos, and where the next chapter could redefine an entire era. So if you're captivated by this madness, smash that like button, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell, and join the conversation in the comments. Are you standing with Roman Reigns as he fights to recover and reclaim his throne? Are you siding with Rollins and Lynch as they seize the power left in the bloodline's collapse? Or are you intrigued by Moxley's unpredictable presence, waiting to explode from AEW into this chaos? This story is only just beginning, and trust me, you do not want to miss what happens next because this is the kind of drama that changes the wrestling world forever. What happens when your most bitter rivals don't come to the hospital with flowers and sympathy, but instead with venom and fire in their eyes? That's exactly what went down when Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch barged into Roman Reigns' hospital room, not to comfort him, but to declare open war in a way that left the entire WWE universe stunned and speechless. This wasn't a kind-hearted visit. This was a statement of dominance, a calculated psychological strike against the fallen tribal chief. And if that wasn't enough, AEW's own Jon Moxley, once known as Dean Ambrose, just broke his silence, and his words have reignited the chatter about whether this is leading to a Shield reunion or a catastrophic civil war that could change the landscape of wrestling forever. Wrestling fans, before I break down this jaw-dropping chain of events, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell, because this is the kind of explosive update that defines eras. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Be part of the conversation and grab the gear that represents your loyalty. From the Roman Reigns OTC 1 collection to Seth Rollins Visionary apparel to Becky Lynch's big-time Bex merchandise, links are in the description. Support the channel and stand tall with your favorites. Now, let's dive into the chaos. Roman Reigns is already battling fractured ribs, lying vulnerable after the merciless assault at Clash in Paris, but instead of giving him breathing room, Rollins and Lynch seized the moment to twist the knife. Witnesses say Rollins stood tall at the foot of Reigns' hospital bed, sneering with disdain, while Becky leaned casually against the doorframe, smirking with confidence. "Look at you," Rollins said coldly, the mighty tribal chief, broken by a rookie. Becky chimed in with equal venom, reminding Roman that this was only the beginning of his downfall, that the throne he once held so firmly is now crumbling beneath him, and they are coming to take everything he built brick by brick. As if that wasn't enough to shake the entire bloodline, Rollins delivered a chilling parting shot as they walked out, promising that JUSO would be next on their hit list. And if you thought this was just storyline theatrics, think again. A fan's cell phone footage captured the entire scene, leaked online, and instantly went viral. The wrestling world exploded with reactions, speculation, and outrage as the lines between scripted entertainment and brutal reality blurred right before our eyes. This wasn't just a hospital room confrontation. This was a shot across the bow of WWE's future. Rollins and Lynch aren't just aiming at Roman. They're positioning themselves as the new power couple of WWE, standing in the vacuum left by the Bloodline's collapse. Meanwhile, over in AEW, Jon Moxley couldn't stay silent. In a backstage interview dripping why.